I have tomato seedlings and pepper seedlings that I need to prick out and pot on because they're getting quite big. So, to the greenhouse. Time to prick out and pot on. So as you can see, we're in the greenhouse that isn't shrouded in bubble wrap, and I can now tell you that there is more condensation on the roof than there was when the bubble wrap was there, but at least I can tell you that now. But anyways, I have actually been out here quite a lot today because I popped out first thing this morning before work even started because I had to get some of my potting soil sterilised. Well folks, it is very early in the morning, hence why it's so dark, but I've got a couple of bits and bobs I need to get done before work starts at 8, so I'm in here now. Basically, if we're going to be pricking out and potting on those little tomato seeds and pepper seeds, I need some potting mix to get that done. And as you know, if I'm bringing potting mix indoors, I sterilise it first. So this is the potting mix that I made with you guys in the video. It's just my normal recipe, and I'm now going to use that for the tomato and pepper seedlings because it's a lovely rich mix, but it's also really, really free draining, so it's brilliant. If you want to learn how to make your own mix, in fact, if you want to understand it properly so that you can not only make your own mix, but you can tweak your recipe for all the different plants you have, watch the video, it's linked up above. We're here because today we're going to be doing some pricking out and potting on because the peppers and tomatoes are at that stage. In fact, the tomatoes are past that stage. So I have got my little seedlings. Right, now these are the pepper seedlings. As you can see, the only seedlings that I actually took were from my King in the North, which were my brand new peppers. This is the Roma peppers that I grow every year, but those seeds were a couple of years old and none of them took. So just now I've got these, and as you can see, they're nice, strong, straight, dark green, healthy seedlings, okay? And they've got these, this is called their first leaves. Some people say they're baby leaves, and they're just about to get their second set of leaves, or their true leaves. Okay, now what this means is, because these are strong enough that I can now handle them by those leaves, I'm going to prick them out and pot them on, because if you leave it too long, the plants get bigger and those roots can all get tangled because there's 2 plants or 3 plants in each little pod. If that happens, when I do go to prick them out and pot them on, I could damage the roots, so I'm going to do it quite early. As you can see, I left it too late with the tomatoes. These guys are about a week ahead of the peppers, and they've already got their second or true leaves, and they've got another set coming as well. It was a bit late. Should really have done it a bit sooner, but we're going to do it now. Okay, and here's a thing for all you new gardeners that are joining us. I have quite specific tomatoes that I grow, and I always grow, because through the years we've learned that those are the ones we like, we love the flavour of it, and they're reliable and what have you. But as a new gardener, you'll hear people always recommending 2 types of tomatoes to you, and that's Gardener's Delight and Sun Gold. Sun Gold are little yellow tomatoes, Gardener's Delight, little red tomatoes, and people rave about the flavour and how reliable they are, hence they recommend it for new gardeners. So just for you guys this year, so that you can grow along with me, and I'm going to do various things along the way that you guys, so you know this is what it looks like and this is when you do this. Gardener's Delight and Sun Gold, so that's what we're going to do this year, just for you. But back to this. So when you've grown your little seedlings and they're ready to prick out and pot on, this is what we're doing. So plants are in these little cells, and there's multiple, 2 to 4 in a cell. That's too many for them to grow to be proper plants. So what we're going to do just now is put them into their own little pots. Now, it's really complicated. Okay, this is just my potting mix that I made. I made it a couple of weeks ago, but if you haven't seen the video about how to make your own potting mix, again, I'll shove the link up there and you can watch it after this video. So I filled it, and then all I do is give it a tap, and that just flattens it down, levels it off. Now, I've got my fantastic, not garish in the slightest, gardening tools that the cats bought me for Christmas. Yes, you heard me right. These came with various dibbers and for pricking out and for seed sown in this lovely lime green, so I'll never lose them. And came all wrapped up with a little name tag saying Happy Christmas, Mummy, love from Penny and Parker. See, but are your cats that good that they buy you presents? Okay, so I've got my pot with the soil, and what I'm going to do is use my dibber. Okay, if you don't have a lime green dibber, your finger will do, a pen will do. All you're doing is poking a hole in the soil that you're then going to put the plant in. Okay, I don't know why it's called a dibber, it just is. But like, if your finger will do the job fine. The next thing I'm going to do is prick out my little seedlings. Okay, I've got this fancy new tool for doing that, but your labels for your plants, at the end of a spoon, something that is long and thin and you can not sharp, so you can take the stuff out without damaging them, is all you need. So I'm going to start with my peppers. So I'm going to go in here, and you never ever hold a seedling by the stem. Don't do it, because the stem can be damaged so easily, and if you damage the stem, that's it, gone. Whereas the leaves, if you damage a leaf, there's a chance it will grow new leaves and it'll be fine. So you always hold a seedling by the leaf, never the stem. And what we're doing is we're just prizing it out. Now, you can see there it's actually come out with a lot of the soil. That's awesome. You want that if you can, because that means it's not disturbed the roots. Bonus. By the leaf, never by the roots. What you will know about from the garden and seen on garden shows is when you put a plant in the soil, you firm down the soil around it, or if it's a big thing like a tree, you get your heel in and firm it in. Do not do this for your seedlings. They're incredibly delicate. Instead, all you do is give it a tap again. And what that does is it just settles the soil around the roots. So this is our first King of the North pepper seedling in its own pot. Okay, and again, so that I don't disturb the roots, I don't water these seedlings from above. Instead, I've got a tray there with a wee bit of water in it, and I just put them in there, and I'm going to let them sit for 5 minutes. And that way, the soil can absorb the water up from the bottom. Okay, right, the next ones. Last one. So that is all of my peppers pricked out and potted on. Remember to always label things. Now here's an interesting thing. If you have, this is a poor example, this is the first one that ever germinated, so it's a bit bigger than all the rest. But if you have something that's called a leggy seedling, which means it's really stretched and thin, you can actually plant it a little bit deeper, and that will help it to stabilise. Tomatoes especially, because on the stem of the tomato, they've got all these little things that look like hairs. And when they're planted, if they're under the soil, those will actually turn into roots. Okay, so if you've got a really tall seedling and you're worried because it doesn't look stable, you can plant it a little bit deeper. All done. Before I go, useful videos on the top left. Don't forget all the useful stuff personally chosen by me for you. And coming up right after this bit, there's going to be some videos that are handy in a playlist of this type of topic, and one chosen specially for you. And yep, I mean you personally. See you guys!